All right, everybody, this is warning to all politicians. I'm running for president. Wait a minute. This is the baddest jam ever, if you ask me. The mighty Led Zeppelin. The Rover. Listen to the words sometime. All right. That's enough of that for there. Warning to all politicians. I'm running for president in 2024, part 124 B, I think. Something like that. Anyhow, I was talking about, this idea. What if at the age of 21, you got $50,000? You look at the amount of welfare that goes out right now is over $1 trillion a year in all the categories added together. We get all that crap off the books, and every year somebody who's 21 just gets 50 grand. Maybe you put a stipulation in there. They have to have graduated high school. You can't be in prison, anything like that. And there's about 4 million births a year, so everyone, like say we started it in 2024. As soon as I took office, that same exact year there, if your birthday's in, well, it would be 25, January of 25. Your birthday's in January of 25, you turn 21, you get 50 grand. So, hey, what about everybody else? So I've been thinking about that too. So anyway, if you, 4 million births times 50 grand equals $200 billion. It's $800 billion savings. Well, a pocket. Say, hey, there's all these other people. Well, let's see. Let's say we broke it down. So also, if you had already turned 21, you on your 22nd birthday, then in 2025, also you would get 40 grand. If you turn 23 in 2025, you would get 30 grand. If you turn 24, let's say you drop that to 25 grand. Something, anything, or you look at people, you break it down by their each, instead of trying to do everybody in 2025, hey, all right, we'll do, if you turn 21, 22, or 23, or 24 in 2025, you would get your cut. Then everybody else, maybe, then you go with the demographics, above that, you're not going to double pay somebody. So in 2026, everyone who turns 21 gets their check, and then everyone say, all right, what do we leave off on? 24-year-olds. So then people who are turning 26 in 2026, they would get, their cut. Say you're down to 20 grand or something. I mean, not everyone's going to be happy. Hey, maybe you spread out everyone who's already above the age. Maybe you pay them something over several years, or include tax breaks. And also I was thinking, since we could print this on U.S. Treasury notes. I spoke about that and other things to pay for infrastructure and stuff, which is not through the Federal Reserve and everything, so therefore we're not paying interest on it. And within a few years, you could balance it all out. Everyone gets their stake, their head start. The money would be spent in the economy. You'd get rid of welfare. At the same time, I believe in cutting all kinds of income taxes and stuff. And like say, for people who are wealthy and stuff, this wouldn't count for them. So you'd be taking some of the people out of the system there. You'd be taking some people out of the system because of, on average, it says the birth rate is 4 million, so you're going to have a death rate that's going to take, it probably at least 100,000 or something here or there out of the totals. And instead of the stuff, Bernie Sanders talks about stuff, 30 trillion over, 10 years. And other people, this many trillion. I'm talking about 200 billion bucks a year. Maybe you add 100 billion or you add 200 billion to that in retro payments each year. So you're talking 400 million each year. So I don't know how many years you'd have to do it before everybody got something. Over, say it took 10 years, whatever. Eventually you'd catch everybody, would catch up there. The money would be spent in the economy. I'm throwing this idea out. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I throw out there that are open for debate. I'm not saying this is exactly what I would do. And I'm not going to sit here and run the numbers on everything and figure out, the exact amount. I'm sure if I start getting the thumbs up and people start writing me in for office, and like I said, this is all strictly YouTube. I'm not looking for anybody's money or anything. You give a thumbs up. You like the ideas. Maybe even if other politicians pick up on the ideas, etc., whatever. But the way things are, I'm sure they'd pick up on like half the idea or something and screw shit up and just not do things right or think things through right. I'm putting the idea out there, and then we get people to crunch numbers and figure out the best way to do it and to get it done and what the exact numbers will be and everything. So understand that part of this. Same with any of the other ideas. How do we tweak how do we make life better for people? You go for everything from driver's licenses, on. Can we do some kind of electronic, driver's license where the officer takes and swipes your card and your picture and all that pops up on his thing there, and you have the ability, instead of having to go to motor vehicle all the time, you have the ability to, you go your first time to get your license, get your picture, and it's in the file and everything. And then, as time goes by, hey, from the comfort of your own home, you snap another picture, and that updates your picture on your license. That's pretty much the only reason you have to go and renew your license all the time, or to change your address. Well, what if you could do that from home? and and then the officer just swipes your card, and all the information comes up, and you don't have to keep. I mean, because once you learn to drive and once you get your license, why do you have to keep going back? You don't forget how to drive. Why do you have to keep paying some fee? There's a bunch of crap like that. That's just, it's 2020, man. So, anyhow, so, you got all the student debt, you got all this, you say, here you go, we're going to give you your stake. So, like, the first several years of this, it's going to be more expensive than $200 billion. Because we got all this debt we've already incurred, and we've got people we'd have to catch up on, because it would be unfair just to say, we're just going to start it now, and just people who turn 21 every year, because it would suck to, hey man, I turned 21 last year, that ain't fair for me, and you'd be right. So, excuse me, we'd have to figure all that out. So for the first several years, it would be more expensive than the $200 billion. But after that, if the birth rate stayed the same, whatever, and you don't have a bunch of people voting in increases into it and stuff, you say, no, this is it, 50 grand. And then, like I said, you do this through U.S. Treasury notes, not Federal Reserve notes. So, what do you think? And like I said, there'd be stipulations. Hey, you're in prison. You're, you teach the kids growing up. Hey, keep your nose clean. You turn 21, you're gonna get $50,000. Don't go get involved in drugs. Don't be dropping out of school. Don't be getting teen pregnancy. Or don't be having babies out of wedlock. That's the fine tuning of it's going to be the hard part, because you will have a lot of people say, okay, add that in there, and no babies out of wedlock and this and that, and then you have other people say they're not going to wait. That's going to drive up abortion, and they'd probably be right, because people are stupid. Instead of instead of girls telling some boy, no, I'm going to wait until I'm going to do right with my life and get my money and everything like that. They'd go mess around, and then there'd be all kinds of excuses. Hey, I still want my money, even though I didn't do what I was supposed to. So, like I said in plenty of these, it's time we will make doing the right thing really attractive to people. And we'll make doing the wrong things look very unattractive. As far as criminal activity and drug trafficking and all this, we'll up the penalties. Hacking, all that kind of stuff, we're going to up the penalties. Identity theft, title theft. I don't even know how it's possible in this country, but you see these commercials. Hey, you got to protect your mortgage. People go right and steal your house right out from under you. So we'll make that, we'll make all the things people shouldn't do very unattractive, and we'll make staying on the straight and narrow attractive. And, who gets to decide straight now? I mean, you can't have any of these people like I brought up that guy John Stossel was talking to about, he was going to say, you can't have a large soda, stuff like that. Common sense stuff. Hey, you did armed robbery, guess what? You're not getting your 50 grand. You assaulted a police officer, guess what? You're not getting your 50 grand. Oh, you were drunk driving and hit somebody and maimed them or killed them or something, no, you're not getting your 50 grand. Didn't graduate high school, you're not getting your 50 grand. And once the initial outlay, which is really going to boost the economy, is done, through, either outright checks or tax credits, reducing people's income tax. Once all that initial expense is done, then that'll fall off. It'll just be the $200 billion a year. And you'll get people off the welfare rolls and all that. And they'll have some real money to be able to do something. This monthly crap you're giving people, you're giving them, public housing, and you're giving them food stamps and this and everything, just enough to go from month to month. It doesn't do anybody any good. It does not do anybody any good. And then as soon as they get a job, the benefits get cut and this and that. They can't get ahead. It doesn't do anybody any good. And you got to teach kids growing up, when you get this, and before you make those first payments, you got to put it out there. You can't be stupid with this money. That's all there's going to be. That's it. You get your 50 grand and you blow through it that first year, and you do stupid shit with it. Go out and buy a bunch of crap you don't need. Get yourself in all kinds of financial debt because people will and you'll have to address the banking system and say, look, you can't be predators. You have to have watchdogs over that. Because because you got 50 grand in the bank. Hey, you go for a loan, they're going to give you a loan. So. And like I said in the other one, you got these people out there. Hey, you're gonna get. We'll give you your money now while you're 18. You just sign that 50 grand over to us, and we'll give you 40 grand now, or we'll give you 30 grand now while you're 18. You just sign that 50 grand you'll get over to us now, and we'll collect that when your 21st birthday comes along. Or whatever, however they would do it. You say, no, you can't do that shit. Like they do with lottery winnings and legal settlements and stuff. No, you don't have to wait for your money. We'll give it to you now. We're gonna rip you off of a good chunk of it. But so, what do you think? It's my idea, and happy Turkey Day. Hope you ain't got too many people in your house. The socialist Nazis will come and get you. You can be up there in Portland, whacked out of your head, shooting up drugs and doing all kinds of shit on the streets in Portland. But don't you goddamn have nobody over your house to eat turkey, man. No friggin' way. No friggin' way. You backward ass fucking. What the hell is society coming to? So you elect me 2024. That's one of my ideas, and also we would straighten out by executive order whatever we have to do. These backward mayors and governors of these states, just ridiculous. So, that's all I wanted to go over, because I know people are going, well, what about everybody else, man? We'll sit down and figure something out. We'll figure out the income level. Like, hey, if you're already making, by the age of 21, if you're already making, X amount of dollars, say it's $250,000 a year or $500,000. If you're already making that much, you don't get the money. I know some people would say, no, you got to make it way less than that. All right, we'll sit down and figure that out. If you're making more than $100,000 a year, you don't get your $50,000. If your parents are multi-millionaires or something like that, like you're in the top 2% or whatever, no, you don't get the money. And so then looking at healthcare and all this kind of stuff and everything like that, then you say, because people out there want cradle to the grave coverage, all kinds of things. Maybe we just cover you the medical for people until they're 18 or they're 21. Then after they get their check and go out on their own and get their jobs and everything like that, then they gotta buy medical insurance, gotta do whatever, gotta set up their own medical account or something, what have you. Maybe we do it to the age of 24. Just like I said, income taxes. Why do we have to pay our whole friggin' lives? Wouldn't 40 years be enough? You only pay income tax between 24 and 64. Unless you make, a super big amount of money, then you're going to have to pay tax, before those ages or after those ages. Property tax, we'll set some kind of deal or make states have to set some kind of system, because it's really not fair. A single dwelling house, in some states, you're paying $7,000 a year in property taxes. And John Stossel does a bit on this too. But what set me off about it is right now, you got people who got COVID checks and stuff who are in prison, $100 million worth. Several years back, I was watching this program, and this elderly woman fell behind in her property taxes, lived in this town her whole life and everything. And instead of taking her home, the city was kind enough, she was like in her 80s, kind enough to tell her, hey, come out and do community work. You come out and sweep the sidewalks and pick up trash and stuff, and you can work off that property tax. It's like, really? This is the United States of America. This woman lived her whole life, paid taxes with her family, probably had family members served in the military and everything, and this is the way you're treated if you did everything right. And they got people who count calories for people in prison who raped and murdered. You can't cut Granny any slack. You can let all these people out of jail for their drug charges. You can't cut Granny any slack. Going to, how about this? Instead of taking her house for the property taxes, and then you're going to sell it at auction cheap or whatever, you just absolve the property tax, cut her a break. Or you buy somebody's house, the city or the state buys the person's house at a fair price, and they get to go on with their life, go find a condo or something to finish out their lives or something. There's got to be more equitable ways of doing things for the people who have tried. And you hear all this stuff about, hey, we got to do for, just give to these people here for no reason, and they're going to break it down, by class, by race. This whole, we're going to do wealth redistribution. Every time I see things talking about that, they always show somebody who's black or brown who's standing down in a ditch or on a short ladder trying to look over a wall, and the white guy's up higher and like this, so that, they're not going to make it available to everybody. This way, by age. It's by age. You turn 21, you get a check. Don't matter if you're black, brown, white, pink with polka dots, Asian, whatever it is, you get your check. Then we don't want to hear from you no more. No more bullshit. I'm still being oppressed. I'm still being held down. Did you get your check? Did you get your check, motherfucker? You got your check? Shut the fuck up. Leave us alone. You got your check. Go away. Adios. Sayonara. Later, homie. No more excuses. You take care of the people who actually are doing something and working and being a part of the society, and who aren't costing society in and out of jail, having to have a lot of police forces and all kinds of stuff. And I guarantee, even if you give people, their check $50,000, You know, because they always say, oh, you know, crime's directly related to poverty and all this. No, you're still going to need police, even if you give everybody 50 grand their 21st birthday, because you got a lot of stupid people out there. You got a lot of violent people out there. You got a lot of people with egos and shit that they got to prove to everybody else they're the baddest, they're the coolest, they're whatever. And you're still gonna have them beating their wives and or their kids or something. You know, even though you gave them 50 grand, here you go. But that's it. You know, you gotta tell the people, like, you know, the people constantly in and out of prison. We don't have time for you no more. 2 strikes and you're out. See that chair over there? It's electric. We're gonna give you a pass on this first offense. You come back, we're done with you. We are done with you. I'm not talking about letting murderers have a free pass or rapists or anything like that. Sorry, Charlie. You're staying in for the rest of your fucking life. You understand that? You're staying in for the rest of your fucking life. And even that, you gotta say, well, you know, murder should just have death penalty anyway. You know, they shouldn't stay in for life. You commit murder, you know, there's no question to it. You didn't. Bzzz, bzzz. We ain't got time for you. We're not gonna support you in prison forever. Bzzz. You're gone. Rape? I'm sorry, you raped what? You raped 2 or 3 women. Bzzz. Bzzz. You molested children. Bzzz. You're gone. Bzzz. Just like a bug zapper. Bzzz. You're gone. Commit armed robbery. All right, here you go. You're gonna get a deal here, buddy. You didn't shoot anybody. You just committed armed robbery. You didn't hurt anybody. I don't know, give them what, 2-5 years, something like that. They do it again. You get arrested for anything, Jack. Anything. Bzzz. Better get your shit together. We don't have time for people who can't get their shit together anymore. Bzzz. You're done. Keep your nose clean. Graduate high school. Stay out of jail. Here's a check for 50 grand. Check for 50 grand when you turn 21. Can you handle that? And then between, you know, up to the age of 24, you're not even going to get hit with income taxes. Unless you're making over, you know, 250 grand a year or something. We'll work out the number. No income taxes. So you can further prepare yourself for the rest of your life. You can invest. You can, you know, go to school. You can do whatever with that 50 grand. You're going to have that little leeway time in there. And by age of 24, you better have your shit together. Because there ain't no more money. You understand? You better have your shit together. Be working, whether you want to work or start a family, settle down, start a business, whatever. 24, you better have a good idea. You better set yourself up. Pick where, you know, hey, where you want to live, where there's a good job, and got the training for it, whatever. We're going to give you that stake. We're going to give you that head start. We'll pay for the medical for children all the way up to the age of 18 or 21 or something like that. And after that, everybody's on their own. You know, and then you figure out something for the, you know, the elderly after a certain age. You know, if they're not wealthy or whatever, after the age is, you know, 65, 60, 70 years old, whatever, hey, here you go. You get your Cadillac health insurance on the state too. But everybody in between, you're paying your own way. All right, this is just some of my ideas. So, what do you think? Wish you all the best out there. You all have a happy Thanksgiving, and don't eat too much of that damn turkey, and put you to sleep, man. You know, and then watch TV, because they're gonna be talking nonsense and shit out there. It's one long infomercial. They're gonna sell you on something, some kind of wacky idea, you know, because there's no doubt there's some people listening to that mayor in Portland and shit, or governor, whatever the hell she is. You know, they go, yeah, If I see my neighbor, if I see somebody having too many people over for Thanksgiving, you know, they might be spreading COVID. That's dangerous. I better call the police. There's going to be somebody out there, man. I'm telling you. You know, maybe people around Portland should start wearing t-shirts like they do in Philadelphia. Snitches get stitches. You know? Anyhow, wish you all the best out there. Have a good one. And be safe if you're out traveling. God bless y'all. Wish you the best. Adios.